Good evening. 2 games for you tonight, plus all the weekend's other goals and analysis from Martin Keown and Jermaine Genus. Arsenal, Newcastle to come.
We started to talk that we had to close the gap with the top teams, that we had to put the draws into wins, and today was the first opportunity for us, and we've done it.
Certainly I didn't see that coming in the second half, and we've give bad goals away, which isn't like us. You know, the one thing we've done for the best part of the season is not give much away, and unfortunately today we've gifted them a couple of goals, and before you know it, in 5 minutes the game's gone.
Your young left-back, Shaka, he's such a prospect.
Yeah, he's doing really well. He always keeps his head down, he wants to learn. It's a big project, but he's performing like a senior player, and he has the courage to play every day, to make decisions, to risk in the final third, and he got rewarded again.
Joelinton has to get in the box if he's going to score goals. Has he still got a problem with the rib? Because he seemed to be holding himself.
No, I mean, he was comfortable. He declared himself fit. He's trained all week. He was fine with it. But yes, that's the things where he's got to learn on and improve on. You know, he has to be in the box more often. I think a lot of his time in Germany he's played to a side, and that shows at times. So we have to keep reminding him to get in the box and be a little bit more selfish.
Do you still think Arsenal can get yourselves into European competition through Premier League?
Still far. We want to go game by game, do the homework, and here at home we have to be very consistent. We want to have an option in the last 2-3 games of the season to be there, so hopefully we can do it.
It was a big win for Arsenal, as Mikel Arteta said, for many reasons, really. But they definitely needed a change of performance in the second half compared to the first half.
Whatever was said at half-time had the added effect, but the first half was quite poor. But the second half, they were so free in the way that they played. And I think it's just the shackles came off. They played with more confidence. This is the first goal. I'm going to dig out Ozil here for praise for once.
Martin, really?
I thought actually today his movement is really important. He makes that the spare player through the compartments. You got running off the ball from Aubameyang. And Pepe was told second half, you've got to get at your opponent, which he didn't do in the first half. This is a looping ball in, and then Aubameyang does the rest. He's in front of goal, that man. He really is. But Shaka, the young kid, 18 years of age, look at this for a bit of confidence, the way he threads it through his opponent's legs. Little nutmeg, out the other side, beautiful. It picks out Pepe, who's come alive, actually, today. He's been accused of staying out wide too often, but he comes in. And it was beautiful to watch. Suddenly Arsenal coming alive. The triangles were there again, the give and goes. You know, look, third man running, Pepe running in behind. Great ball from Ozil, some vision that he has. And Aubameyang just can't on this occasion quite squeeze it in. And it was great to watch. It may have flattered them a little bit, 4-0, but Shaka is a player going from strength to strength. Ozil again, I have to say, was magnificent. This young man just keeps getting better and better. Lacazette there, maybe he puts his arm out, and you'd like to see him just reaching out for that one. But we're saying about Ozil, and this is like in the 90th minute here, and he doesn't admire his pass. It's a give and go, and he charges with the ball. Much more purpose in his play, and he gets his reward. Pepe and Lacazette combining, and Ozil gets fortunate with the finish, but he deserved that goal. And it's now 4-0. I mean, it's only 2 wins from the last 8. We all know as Arsenal fans that Arsenal have been playing better. The statistics don't suggest that, but definitely today did.
That Mesut Ozil goal, 35 passes, every single player touched the ball, the most number of passes for any goal in the Premier League this season, very quickly. He's obviously loved by Arteta and playing in the position he wants to play. It makes a big difference, yes?
Of course, he's playing centrally. He wants to be that player that threads things together, and it's really going well for him.
Speaking of playing centrally, you have a feeling that Saint-Maximin might be Newcastle's answer to their goal-scoring problems if they played him through the middle.
Well, I think he's got a decision to make now, Steve Bruce. And I think, you know, the performance of Saint-Maximin today was brilliant, particularly in the first half. I actually thought that Newcastle were the better team for the first 45 minutes, and he was kind of central to all of that. My theory behind it is, watching Arsenal's 2 centre-halves today, they didn't really have anything to worry about. You know, Bellerin was the one taking the brunt of the problems with Saint-Maximin running down that side. Obviously, nobody making a challenge there to get in the box. For that one, he squared. From a defensive point of view, he worked very well. But I would like to have seen him through the middle today, up against Mustafi, up against David Luiz, and see how they would have handled this type of scenario, running at players, making them make decisions, because you don't get that from Joelinton.
He doesn't ask enough questions for you.
He doesn't ask enough questions. And if Joelinton played on the left or the right in Germany, then stick him out on the left or the right and let him play where he's from, basically. I think, a time's coming for him to play through the middle and start causing some problems down there, I think.
Because the problem as well with Newcastle attack is presumably the feeling that once they've let one in, once they've let two in, there is a concern they aren't going to get back into it because
that's exactly what happened today. Once they conceded that first goal, they essentially kind of just caved, and that's not good enough in itself. But it is disheartening, I think, for those players when they look ahead and think, we're not going to get back in this game.
OK. Time now for the weekend's other goals, and we'll start at Carrow Road.
From Newcastle's perspective, we were talking before that, they're in the 5th round of the FA Cup for the first time in 14 years. They were in a good place, but this then just reminds you of what they're lacking.
Yeah, well, Alan's right. Alan Shearer, what he said before, goal scoring is a problem. The centre-backs seem to score so many goals for Newcastle, but, when they're going forward, and there's so much endeavour in the likes of St Maximin, so you can't really knock him. Maybe he'll get better with a bit of coaching. Almiron's the same, but Joe Linton needs to hit the back of the net. He needs to get himself in the box. Wrighty and Allen were prolific goal scorers and knew where you're going to score goals. And you don't get them outside the 18-yard box. You've got to get yourself in there. Whether he can be coached, I commentated on when he was at Hoffenheim. Similar sort of story. I think he had one season where his numbers were good, but apart from that, he doesn't get in the box enough. And that's a massive problem for Newcastle. So even though the points tally at the moment is decent and the wins that they've had have been very good, the bigger picture is not sure what they're going to be like in seasons to come. OK,
well, let's get a sense of how both managers were feeling after the match, starting with Arteta.
Mikel, congratulations. 4-0 is your biggest league win of the season.
Absolutely. After the break, we started to talk that we had to close the gap with the top teams, that we had to put the draws into wins, and today was the first opportunity for us, and we've done it.
And a few players like Lacazette scored his first goal for a while, Mesut scored his first goal for a while. This is all good.
All good. So pleased for Laka as well, and I'm very pleased with the team's reaction towards him. Players, staff, everybody. He's a player that fights really, really hard for everybody. He's been very unlucky. And hopefully that will bring him confident, and he will know that how much everybody appreciates him.
How much is this a wake-up call? Up until today, unbeaten in the last 8.
Well, I mean, we've played well enough in the first half. We've got to try and make sure that we keep to them levels. We never got anywhere near it in the second half, and that is the disappointment thing for me. And of course, the goals which we've give away is certainly not been us. The reason why we've had a bit of success this year is that resilience to defend and play against teams like we have done, and we haven't done enough in the second half.
How important is well that you bounce back from this, because your immediate opponents are in the lower half of the table?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's always the case. When you get a beating like you have to lick your wounds and get on with it and show that resilience again, and we'll look forward to next week.
Well, from Arsenal's perspective, it was a huge result because we've seen 13 draws this season. We were talking about turning draws into wins, which they did today.
Yeah, they did. And
how far can they go this season, though, Righty?
Well, I think if Arsenal can get themselves up in and around the European places, it would be good. I think that Mikel Arteta, he's got a plan. At least he's got a vision. It seems clear. The players seem to understand it. But now they just need to turn those draws into wins. Because even when you look at some of those draws, they could have easily been losses as well. You look at the Newcastle game, there's a couple of chances if Newcastle take them, you see a different kind of Arsenal, because then you're testing their character. It didn't happen, so they then go on to win 4-0. But there's still a lot of work to be done. But if they can finish in the European places, I'll be delighted with that.
Are you impressed, though, with what you've seen from Arteta so far? Yeah,
because he seems very serious. Like I say, there's a clear plan to how the guys are going to play, how he wants people to play. And he obviously doesn't take any rubbish from players. I'm hearing that Guendouzi's out for maybe disciplinary reasons. Danny Ceballos, somebody who's a midfield player that we need to be playing. He weren't right attitude-wise, and now he's got him right. And he seems like he's not going to take any rubbish, and he's going to get this team performing how he believes they should be.
OK, well, let's move on and talk about a game on the